arrest warrant out. They use a U.S. agency. They didn't even use any Palestinian agency. So if the U.S. agency says, you believe the U.S., correct?
I trust the
even Israeli sources. There's an organization called Kogat. They're the one that coordinates the aid going into. Hold on. They're the one that coordinates the aid going into Gaza. And since March 2nd or May 2nd? March 2nd actually. March 2nd, the amount of aid that was going in completely dropped for at least 2-3 months. And you can even see that from Israeli sources.
Yeah, but the point is just saying like this: the red heifer, the building of the temple.
Forget the red heifer. Are you denying the starvation reports?
President Trump sent an envoy directly to Gaza, and they said they investigate everything, including said there's absolutely nothing.
Witkoff did not investigate shit. He was in a small area.
How do you know where he was?
I read the report. What's up, Shane?
Am I allowed to quote the defense minister of Israel?
Sure.
No food, no electricity, no water. No food, no electricity, no water. No food, no electricity, no water. Fuck the IDF.
There you go. You know? So what did we say about the Yoav Galat? This statement coming from Yoav Galat, he was a former Israeli defense minister. Are you going to deny the defense minister's statement coming out of are you going to deny that?
I would suspect his statements were very politically motivated.
No. Such an asshole, like Rabbi, Mordecai, or Sharif Assad, whatever the fuck
I'm a good person. You know that.
I wish you were a good person.
You know I'm a good person.
You're demonic.
I haven't met one pro-Israeli on this app that admits that Israel has anything to do with starving people.
Yeah, bro.
They're not. That's what I'll be the
No
best
food, no electricity, no water.
No,
Hey, that doesn't mean you're starving.
No electricity, no water. Yeah, that doesn't. No food.
My cat
No electricity,
67.
Mike Huckabee
So Shape, let me just say this. So I received a message from an old friend of mine on this app, right? They don't know, designers don't know him, right? He comes on and off like once in a blue moon. He was on here. He went into their space. I think it was today or yesterday. They did the little voting thing that you can do up there. They had a link up. It said, is the starvation is a bullshit or this and that? It's a fake. It's made up. And majority of the Zionists, they voted for fucking it's bullshit. It's nobody's starving in Gaza. And that was I can give you guys a name. One of them, Normal. Another one, BD. Another one, Alpha. That son of a bitch, Islamophobic piece of shit. And then another one was the Harry Balzac, right? The son of a bitch. I think he lives in Texas or somewhere. And who else?
Daniel.
And Daniel, right? The friend of mine sent me a screenshot, and I was in a shock. I'm like, these mofos, they come into the space all the time. They learn about they hear about the tactics. Who was behind the GHF side? Literally, IDF confirmed they killed a whole bunch of people. And how do you fucking, come to this conclusion that there's no starvation? And this rabbi character, he's doing the same shit. He doesn't even think he's black.
What do you keep saying?
Yeah, you're going through identity crisis. You're going through midlife crisis, not fucking identity. You're going through all types of crisis. Identity crisis, midlife crisis, whole life crisis.
You're saying
midlife crisis, everything, life crisis, all types of.
Okay, Amir, you're saying that because you believe people have to be an exact way, and if they're not.
Your Twitter says something else about you.
What does it say?
It says there's no white supremacy.
There's not.
Okay. There you go. See, that's where he's going through identity crisis. Okay, no problem.
No, it's not identity crisis. I just believe in God. I believe that God determines my destiny.
So if somebody goes on the streets of Tel Aviv, calls you N-word, that's just God. That's just God telling that person to call you N-word.
I don't believe the narrative that was told to Black Americans that there's some supreme power by man that can stop its destiny. Whatever God has destined for me, no man can stop me from that. Right? So when I say white supremacy does exist, I'm above it. Right? I'm with the Creator, and I answer directly to the Creator. I speak directly to the Creator, and the Creator manifests reality. So no, for me, white supremacy does not exist. No form of supremacy exists in this world. Only God's supremacy. Are we clear?
Black Rabbi, it sounds
White people have nothing to
why do you keep lying? You know that you belong to the Rabbinic Judaism. You don't answer to God. You answer to a rabbi, not to your God.
I'm a rabbi.
Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. You know what you believe in.
I'm a rabbi.
You are a rabbi. You are a rabbi, and you have a rabbi above your rabbi, and it's just a sect. You have the rabbi of the sect. You have the rabbi of the sect.
Me and God. It's just me and God.
No, but Black Rabbi, it's like you go from like
Go and ask God if they're stopping in Gaza.
Yeah, he says they're not.
it just seems like you're ignoring reality, Black Rabbi. Just because you don't let other people affect you doesn't mean that there's not bad people out there. There's not people who think that they're above you, or you know what I mean? Like that's reality. That there are nasty people who do believe in white supremacy, and it kind of seems like you go from one extreme to the other. Like
what extreme? What's extreme?
Like you say you're not black, but then you also go by the name
black.
But you have, Black Rabbi. You've come into this room and you said, "Oh, well, it's a construct," but it's like, but then you also profit off of it. So
what's wrong with that?
But that's what I'm saying. It's so confusing. Just a second ago, you said there's no such thing as white supremacy.
So you're not
but you
black.
know that there's white supremacy.
I'm saying you're not white.
So you're construct rabbi.
You're not white. You're not white. He's not Asian. He's not African. These are all made up words.
So you're the construct rabbi?
No. When I'm a man. I'm Adam. I'm a man.
But why do you call yourself the black rabbi? Just call yourself rabbi.
Yeah.
Why black?
I could make more money that way.
But, bro, that makes you sound so cheap.
Yeah, that sounds like a con.
Yeah, for you, that's how it is. But you believe you have a degree because you went to some school and paid the money, and you sat in the classroom and you filled out some resume test, and then you gave it back to them, and they gave you a score, and they said, "Hey, you're educated. Hey, you walk around. Hey, I have a degree." You did that your whole life. It's all a construct. It's made up too.
It's not made up. It's true, and I do make money.
Okay, great.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
You do exchange. Exchanging money is just a way to keep track of the exchange of goods and services. That's a.
So by you need to say
the working class worships
more money. You're gonna make more money.
Who cares?
No, you said I'm gonna make more money by putting black in front of it. So you don't care about even what you say. Okay, got it. So nothing he says matters. He doesn't even care.
You know, there's a famous story with Larry Ellison and Bill Gates, right? Larry Ellison tells a story. He says one day Bill Gates calls up in his office and he says, "Hey, Larry, I want to ask you a question." He said, "Okay." So something in some trade magazine, when they used to have trade magazines in the computer industry, it was something he brought up, and Larry Ellison gave a complete rebuttal to it. They went back and forth, whole thing. And then Bill Gates in the middle of the conversation says, "Hey, Larry, I'm going to call you back." He said, "I have to go to a meeting. We'll talk." Larry Ellison says he gets another call the same day, but at midnight. And Bill Gates calls him back and says, "Hey, Larry, I thought about everything you said, and you were absolutely right, and you're brilliant, and blah, blah, blah. This whole thing, we'll talk." And he said, Larry Ellison said, when he got off the phone, he said all the hairs on his arm were straight. He said, "Why?" He said, because he realized at that moment why Bill Gates was Bill Gates. Bill Gates doesn't care about his opinion. He just wants the right information to win, right? And so he just called Larry to get Larry's outlook because he knew Larry knew more than he did about the situation. And Larry Ellison said from that point on, he never gave Bill Gates his opinion on anything ever again, right? So for me, I don't care. You're right. I just want to win, right? I just want to progress, right? And so that's what I believe.
Yeah, but when he justified that,
Hold on 1 second.
you can sell your soul for the sake of that.
Hey, Black
And you don't
Rabbi.
have no values.
Black Rabbi, you're Bill Gates. I'm Larry Ellison. Asking if you're starving Palestinians.
Are you starving Palestinians?
Yes. Take that gift I just gave you, bro.
Nah. I can't.
No food. You should.
You know why I can't.
Please tell me you're ashamed of Yoav Galant.
I'm not ashamed of anybody.
No food.
Both sides.
No
both
electricity. No water.
Yeah,
But what does that mean to you, Black Rabbi?
Yeah,
What
okay, so the
Would
thing is
you
like this.
give Gazans food and water?
So you understand my perspective is a unique one, right? Because
Would you give Gazans food and water?
I just want to
It's
respond.
not unique. It's
I-
manipulative. It's
it's not.
double faced.
No, it's not.
I want to know.
Yes, it is. They're
No,
saying whatever
no,
get you through.
No.
Begging.
Because I lived in what you call area two, in what you guys would call Palestine. I call Jerusalem. Right?
You said you want to win, and your winning is on the bodies of the Palestinian bodies. That's your winning. That's how you think you're winning.
Let's be clear. So the Palestinians that I lived adjacent to are the ones who educated me about their challenges living as Palestinians in Israel. Not the Israelis, not Hezbollah, not anybody else. I was in a religious Jewish institution that had nothing to do with anything Zionist or anything to do with Zionism. These are Haredi. That's where I was at. I was in the Haredi neighborhood in Area 2 in Jerusalem. And my point is to say the Palestinian kids, the young kids in college educated me how Hamas, the PLO, Fatah, all these organizations do not represent them. These leaders are corrupt. They're profiting off of their design.
Corrupt.
So that's not. Wait. We're talking about a young black kid. We're talking about a young black kid from America.
Leaders. Go check your.
We're talking about a young black kid from America who came to Israel and found out what's going on.
For the most part, all this year, they asking for the freaking government to fuck off. Fuck off. In the freaking war. That's what they've been saying for the last year. Right?
All I'm saying is I'm a young black kid from America who came to Israel and found out what happened from the Palestinians. Okay,
really?
I have Palestinian relatives. Okay,
really?
Yes. My mom's brother married a Palestinian woman. I have Palestinian, half black, half Palestinian cousins, and I have their cousins also my cousins as well. So I'm invested in the success of the Palestinians, and because of that.
How you see their success?
I'm going to. First of all, the Palestinians who live in proper Israel are very successful.
Very successful.
Every hospital,
freaking drug infested. Look around. Police brutality in their neighborhood. You liar. You are liar. I cannot believe how much you can digest the amount of lies that you're spewing over here.
I'm talking about the Palestinians. I'm talking
the Palestinians in the 48. Yes, those are ghettoized. They are not allowed to go to certain places. Police brutality rampage. Freaking crime scenes is abundant because of the way that they get ghettoized, just like Black American here. You a fucking liar.
See, and that's one of the most offensive parts about this argument is how they want to connect the Palestinian
It's constructed supremacy. It's systematic by the freaking government to bring you down.
It's not right.
Liar.
It's not a government.
Liar. It's systematically
Palestinians
done.
It's are militarized society.
It's engineered.
It's a militarized society.
To be in that way, to have that outcome. Stop the lies. Even in South Africa, it was constructed, systematically done by the government. They're in the rules. That's why it had to be dismantled.
You can't even have a conversation because you don't want
to. No, because you lie.
You don't want
to. Never come here with.
Doesn't matter.
Let's get some new voices in there. We got Nubian here, and we got Adesoji. Sorry, Benjamin, not today. You're just a fucking crackhead. Nubian, did you want to say something? Welcome, assalamu alaikum, man.
Walaikum salam. I was listening to what he was saying. He said Palestinians, in comparison to African Americans, Palestinians are militarized people. My question is, why is that?
Great question. So in 1967, when Israel defeated their enemies, the Russians came with certain Arab leaders and they designed a concept called a Palestinian People Resistance Movement. And the reason why they did that is because Israel was taking more territory. Now, what they did was because they said, hey, we are a people and we are indigenous here, they went back to the United Nations in other court systems and then they said, hey, these are Palestinian territories, right? Even though there's no nation state, no country, nothing like this, these are Palestinian territories. And then from there, they have a legal basis to resist Israel's expansion, right? And then now they could call it an occupation. right? So they designed a people. Those people, if you read the books of the poets and the scholars of that time, the Jordanians, Egyptians, they'll say, we went to bed Jordanians, we woke up Palestinians. We woke up Egyptians, went to sleep Egyptians, we woke up Palestinians. Yeah.
You said there wasn't a country. What's a country?
A country is a defined territory that, has bylaws and has an operation. It's recognized by defined by the people themselves and the neighboring surrounding people.
Right. So you just said Palestinians weren't a country. They are a country. By your definition, they're a country.
They were never a country.
You just said that they are people who define themselves and defined by their neighbors. Is Egypt a neighbor of Palestinian?
Yep.
Okay, Egypt acknowledged. Is Jordan a neighbor of Palestinian?
Yeah, they're acknowledged as people. I'm talking about a country.
As a country.
What country? Who? When was the country?
Palestinian country.
Let me talk to the brother, please.
So, I asked you. I didn't go by my own definition. I asked you what was the definition of a country. By your definition, Palestinians are a country.
No, they're not.
Palestine. You just said.
So Palestine itself. So let me explain that. So Palestine itself, that was a term given to the Jews in 2,000 years ago. When the Jews conquered Jerusalem, this area, they renamed it from Judea. They named it from Judea to Palestine. Philistine is a word, it was a Greek word. So they used that word to define the Jews. So even if you look at pictures of Jews living in Israel in the 1800s, right, playing soccer, you would see Palestine and you'll see a Jewish star right next to it, right, on the soccer teams, different sports like this. So you can see that historically. So Palestine was a name, Palestinian was a name given to the Jews who lived there. That's why you have golden.
So hold on. So let me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Romans did it, but they called the Jews.
It was for the Jews.
Right. So let's point.
It's right after they conquered Jerusalem. That's what the Jews were.
No,
hold on. Let me point something out.
They did.
Point something else out to you. You said that the Greeks called the Jews
Romans called them.
My question is, how can that be? When in the Bible, the story of David and Goliath, the Jews were on the outside of the region. They referred to Goliath, their enemy and opposition, as a Philistine. So how could someone else call
So a convert Jew from California comes to Jerusalem and starts to define my identity as a Palestinian.
Yeah, that's how it works. Because I'm American. That's how it works. The tides have turned. Anyways, but the point is,
So
you are an authority on defining my identity as a Palestinian.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, you are, right?
So you have a settler colonial mentality. When you go to another place and you're defining another set of people, that is the very definition of settler colonialism.
I think you're right.
So you're a settler. You're a settler. You're a settler.
We're world power, so yeah.
No. You are a settler. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying we're the world power.
No, you just.
So by definition, we're going to have to do that to anyone who disagrees with our.
And by definition, we have to resist the superpowers that try to subjugate us.
Very much.
You call it
That's true.
a terrorist protocol. Like you don't have the right.
You do have a right to resist.
Yes.
And resist who will.
Get the fuck out.
And resist who will.
But I don't think the resist.
With hands, with stones, with anything.
It always worked. Even if it took ages, it always worked. Look at the Algerian, look at the British, look at the Roman.
And everywhere America
especially when you practice apartheid or genocide.
And everywhere the United States have gone back running with their tails between their legs. It takes only 20 years. Examples, Afghanistan, Iraq, only 20 years. That's all it takes you. 20 years is the stomach you have for it. 20 years. And we're going to fight you till the last man standing. If we have to starve to do it, we will do so. Mark my words. We will do so.
Never will.
So guys, let's just jump back to the history, right? So you're correct, Black Rabbi, when you say that the word Palestine comes from Philistine. Sure. But in the Bible, in the story of David and Goliath,
it's a different one. It's There was the Philistines. That's a particular tribe.
Yeah, because it has a different
No, it's not
letter.
a particular tribe. It's not a particular tribe because in Arabic, it's not Palestine, it's Palestine. And Philistines and Philistine was a land there, and they were, they were a Semitic people living on that land from the ages of Canaan.
They run their own podcast.
They
I
lived
guess
there.
Shade of Prom.
And they had sorry, wait a moment. They had a land that runs from the east, from the southern coast of the occupied Palestine now until the Negev desert.
They keep
So
lying.
let me just slow down.
Yeah, he's lying. He's playing with words.
One second.
No, the other.
One second. So he said it doesn't come from that. While you're talking, I went ahead and researched it. So it says here, people now known today as Palestinians did not always have that name because the word Palestine itself comes from Philistia, land of the Philistinians, and was popularized by the Romans. So the Palestinians, before the word Palestine, were Philistines. Now, when we go into the Bible with the story of David and Goliath, we are aware, led by Nebi Musa, Moses, that the Israelites were coming out of Egypt, and they arrived to the region that they called the Promised Land, but they were afraid of a military force that was already there before they got there. According to the Bible, that force of people were called Philistinians, led by a giant named Goliath, the Philistinian. So, how can they not, almost done, how can they not be indigenous to that region when in fact, even in the Bible, because the same record that you're using to validate the Jews' title to that land, it actually validates that the Jews were not in that land because they were in Egypt for 1,000 years.
So because I think this is like kind of like a little bit of the academic approach, and then we could go back and forth from semantics. My point to you is like this: when you look at
Not semantics, DNA.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Go on.
when you look at the last 100 years in this region, Jews and Arabs have been fighting with each other. A lot of it had to do with the British creating conflicts between them, and not only that, the